Right now we're reaping the spiritual wisdom that the ancestors offered for, which depending on who you are and who you come from, is gonna look very different. But think about this for a moment. If your ancestors offered to spirits like love or truth or clarity, right now is a time where we are being asked collectively, Neptune retrograde in Pisces at the very end, 29 degrees, Saturn retrograde in Pisces, opposing the dark moon. More on that another time. Plus Pluto's retrograde, and that's ancestral inheritance. Retrogrades are a sweeping of the seasons, the harvest of other people's reasons, our ancestral reasons. So if your ancestors have offered to spirits like love or truth or clarity, right now you're receiving the rewards as long as you do the work to actually receive the harvest. But for some people, this might show up a little bit more in the shadow, especially because that Neptune retrograde is opposing the dark moon. Super duper fun, or not, depending upon your morals and belief system and what you really want. So say that your ancestors didn't necessarily offer to spirits that you agree with, it's still an ancestral inheritance, and if you don't reap it now, somebody who comes after you will reap it eventually. So you might as well, in my opinion, reap it and harvest it and get it out the way and get it done. Dark truths are not always fun. Some of these truths are going to be more related to the sun, but they're not all going to be related to the sun. That dark moon in opposition to Neptune right now, it's the shadows being harvested in our spiritual practices. It's the shadows of harvest that the ancestors have offered to us. This is not all hunky-dory, sweet and honey sort of harvest stuff. Some of the ancestral harvests that are coming through right now are very dark. So just be patient with yourself, okay? Especially too because the Neptune and Pisces are blinding, they can be. And then the dark moon, the shadows, the literal darkest part of the moon, and the moon itself is a little like cycle bending, shape-shifty. Yeah, you're probably going to be a little blind through this process. So be kind to yourself if you are blind. And like I said, my opinion, reap it now so that someone who comes after you doesn't have to go through the same lessons just to reap the harvest that you wanted to avoid. But that's just my opinion. Better to hold a dark truth and its responsibility than to have another who is less responsible reap it for you. That's true. Keep doing what you need to do. Gratitude, love, reverence to you. Some of the stuff right now is a little rough and tough. Where did I sign up to learn all the dark truth? For all honesty's sake, I have no idea. But here I am. I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you next time.